Om. ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं। परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य माणिस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेन अहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि हृदं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्माम अवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु। अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा जिह्वे पिबस्वामृतमेतदेव गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति। हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति। हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति। हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति। In the last session, we were looking at verse number 42, the shloka number 42, and we had seen the literal meaning of that. Need to remember one thing clearly. Bhagwan started a new topic from 39 in shloka onwards, 39 verse onwards. 39 and 40, he brought up why he is bringing up this topic, and then he spoke about the kind of intellects which are there who focus on this subject, yoga buddhi. And he compared it with the intellect which does not do karma or action with yoga buddhi, matlab does not do karma yoga. And he called them avyavasayinam, and he called the person who equips his intellect with yoga buddhi or karma yoga buddhi, he called him vyavasayatmika buddhi. His intellect is called vyavasayatmika buddhi, means nischayatmika buddhi, means he's got his goal very clear. He's got very clear focus on what he wants to achieve at the end of every action. His final goal is very clear. In between, actions may be many. He definitely, as we move on in the life, there will definitely be many actions we will get into. But through those actions also, his ultimate goal, his focus, as where he wants to reach at the end is very clear. One particular goal only. Whereas the avyavasayinam, they are, and he explained, Bhagavan explained this avyavasayinam, or the people who do not have the karma yoga buddhi, who do not have an intellect equipped with karma yoga, who do not or work through karma yoga. He said they have got ananta buddhaya. They have got many intellects. First they come up with one goal. When they reach that goal, they realize, oh no, this is not what I required. I don't think this is enough for me to be happy. Then another intellect is formed. Okay, now change this into this one, and they do that also. Once they do that reach the final goal or result, they realize, no, this is not what I wanted. I am at the same place where I started. Then a new buddhi is formed. It becomes a different branch of that same action also. Once it goes through many different branches, it doesn't reach the goal. Then intellect comes up with a completely new thing altogether. No, I think we should change the path. Now this should be the goal. And I think we should change the goal into something else. So another intellect is formed. So Bhagavan says ananta. In this way, many intellects are formed throughout the life. And with those many intellects also, many different branches sprout out, and this man is completely lost in focus. He do not reach anywhere. His whole goal of life is not clarified also. He's not fixed his goal in the life also. So when his goal is also not fixed, then how will he reach a particular destination? He doesn't reach anywhere at the end of the life. That's what Bhagavan wanted to bring out with that. Now Bhagavan says, in the verse 42, which we picked up, started in the last session, he talks about those people who are karmavadi. Karmavadi means who are big proponents of karma. And their focus is very clear. Man, don't do all these things. You do not need to worry about anything at all. Just focus on action. Action is God. God lives in action. Action is worship. And I picked up those discussions, but we'll read the verse first and then we will go into the discussion from there. Bhagavan says, Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipaschitah vedavadaratav partha nanyadastiti vadinah. Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipaschitah vedavadaratav partha nanyadastiti vadinah. Arjun, these people, and I used the statement in the last session, Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti. They talk about, and I use the word flowery statement. Flowery statement here means what? Well decorated statement. They will decorate the whole action oriented focus so well that you will be completely taken by them. This is how we will decorate the whole statement, why you should do action only, why you should focus on action only. So what? Or God is there, temples are there. Why do you need to go there? Even if you go to the temple, you do not need to go and worship God. Just serve the people who are sitting outside and begging out. Then you serve them. That itself is like serving God. They will give you many examples. They'll support their logic, they'll support their statement with many examples. And they will beautify the action in such a way that by doing action you will get this also, you will get this also. Study well, at the end, focus one thing, study well, do your degree well, do post graduation, and then get into a business, set up your own thing. And once you do that, there is never going to be a look back for you. You have achieved everything. And what is their definition of achievement? What will you achieve? You will achieve this, you will achieve this, you will achieve this. They will give you a list of things. In Veda, we have this Mimamsa called Purva Mimamsa. When I spoke about the different philosophies within Sanatan Dharma, I spoke about Astik Darshan, Nastik Darshan, and amongst Nastik Darshan I spoke about three, and I told you the way to decipher is that Nastik means, it doesn't mean that they don't believe in God. It means that they don't accept Veda as a final proof of self-discovery. They do not have faith in the whole thing of self only. Those are called Nastik Darshan, and there are primarily three of them. I'm not going to name them now. I've already named them in the previous sessions. Then Astik Darshan, when I spoke about six philosophies which come under Astik Darshan. They all follow Veda. They all take Veda as a pramana. They accept Veda as the final proof for self-discovery. They accept Veda as the final document and which describes the nature of the self, and through which only you can discover the self or the ultimate goal or moksha, whichever way you call it. And I named those six philosophies as Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga. And the reason I brought this up is Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga is four of them. And the last two of them, or don't see in the seniority at all, the two of them amongst these six is Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa. Purva Mimamsa also follows Veda, but they are primarily the Karmakand of Veda. Karmakand means the action side of Veda, which elaborates upon rituals, yaga, yajna, what kind of things you can do, worship and everything. And I told you Karmakanda itself is split into, Upasana is also a karma, so Karmakand and Upasana Kand, both Kand comes in Purva Mimamsa. And then Uttar Mimamsa, popularly we call it Vedanta, which is the actually about the self, which expounds upon the self. That's how these six philosophies are defined. Why I brought this up right now? When we say Yamimam Pushpitam Vacham, all those people who follow Purva Mimamsa, the Karmakandis also, they also come under this category that they will elaborately tell you, do this, you will achieve this, do this, you will achieve this. And you will see the beauty of Veda also. In Veda, every ritual has got something called a Falashruti. Falashruti means by doing this, what kind of results you will get. Because you need to remember why Veda is only explaining the Falashruti there. Because they know the people who follow action or the people who are action oriented, unless and until they are given a clear picture of the result they are going to get, unless and until they feel happy about the result which it is going to make them reach or they are going to derive out of it, you cannot motivate them. Because a typical action oriented people will only look at result. You've seen many people who say this also, I'll definitely do this, but what will I get out of this? You'll have to explain them what they will get out of it. So you will see in Veda also, in the Karma Kand, which is Purva Mimamsa, every ritual has got something called a Falashruti. Because it says, if you do this, and please remember, Falashruti is not just mentioned for the sake of mentioning, they are only to motivate. They are true also. They are true definitely. That if you do it, this ritual in the correct manner, it is definitely going to get you that result. And they have explained that result very elaborately there. So those Karmakandis, what they do is that, because remember, Karmakanda is the first step. From karma only you slowly gradually go, you see that, I have been doing action for many lives. I have not reached anywhere. So that means there is something which is above Karmakand. This thing has to be internalized within you. It's your buddhi, your intellect should prompt you. I've been doing karma for many lives. I've been doing action for many lives. Where did I reach? I'm at the same place. I may not have moved an inch only. I may have gone down. Because karma is going to lead me in that way. So then, after doing many lives of Karmakanda, they realize that it is not enough. That's when their intellect is prepared to get to the next step, which is Upasana Kand. Upasana Kand means then I'll do Japa, Puja, and then what you call Dhyana. They are all come under Upasana Kand. It's also a karma, but it's a higher level of karma. So it's like a step. So Karma Kand you have to start, and then with Karma Kand, then you will slowly, gradually seeing that karma is not enough. Karma is not going to lead me into the eternal goal at all. I'm still circling here only. I'm going Punarapi Janam, Punarapi Maranam. I'm taking birth, dying, taking birth, dying. How long I'll keep doing this? I have to escape from this cycle of birth and death also. How will I do that? Karma is not going to take me there. I'm going to explain that in the coming shlokas also. Bhagwan is also going to pick it up in the next verse, which is 43rd. But I'll come to that point. But then he realizes, then he comes into Upasana Kand. Upasana, when he does, his mind becomes purer by having the God factor in there, and it starts becoming purer and purer. Then there is a desire which arises in that person's intellect, that this God whom I am worshipping, whom I am doing upasana of, whom I am doing in dedication and towards, whom I am devoted to, I want to know that God. That's where Vedanta starts. That discovery of God, who exactly is God. Remember one thing, the beauty is discovery of God actually leads you to self-discovery only. See, I'm marking and underlining my word here. When you finally realize God, then you will realize that your own self is also God only. And that's how the journey goes in Vedanta. So Bhagwan says, those people who are Purva Mimamsa or Mimamsak, who are doing Karma Kandis, that's the side of Vedas I'm talking about. Now come to the common world. There are many out there in the world currently who are big proponents of karma. Oh, no. You don't worry about all these things. Always remember one thing. You focus on your action, and action is going to lead you in this thing. If you sit idle, you are not going to get at anything at all. And what it will lead to, I am going to explain when Bhagwan explains in the next verse. I am not picking up preemptively here, because I will take it up with the verse. So they say that do action alone is going to give you happiness. Remember, the goal is happiness, sukha. Action alone is going to make you feel fulfilled. Action alone is going to make you feel contented. Those people, Bhagwan is calling them with the name Yamimam Pushpitam Vacham. They will decorate their statement. They will support their statement of why you should do action in so many beautiful ways, that after listening to them, you will also think twice. I think he is right, action alone is going to lead. If I work hard, I will earn more. If I earn more, I will have more comforts and luxury. If I have more comforts and luxury, I will have more happiness. And that's not it. I will also have, power and other things also coming in there. So all these things I'll get with action only. If I go and, worship in the temple, I can't see how it's going to give me those paths at all. So, they will decorate in such a way that you will be convinced to that point that you will walk out of that session of theirs and convinced and made up your mind very clearly that nothing doing, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to go to, temples and churches and anywhere. I'm only going to focus on my action. And while doing my action, I'll see if I can be of help to someone. And, I think that we need to work in this way, that we should help others, and that's the way of being more divine. Bhagwan says, is even they pravadanti, yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti. Bhagwan calls them with one word, avipaschitaha. Avipaschitaha means, actually literal translation is mudaha. Muda means fools. But Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji has translated in a little bit, softer way there. He also had said Muda at some places, but I'm just saying, Avipaschita also means those people who do not have a clear understanding about life. They do not have a clear understanding about the goal of life. They do not have a clear 360-degree understanding or an entirety understanding of the path to be taken to reach the goal. when they have no understanding of the goal, then of course they will never explore the path for that goal. So when the goal also is not known to them, what path they will talk about? They will not talk about that path also. And because their understanding of life, so to say, is actually incomplete. They do not have a full view of life also. They do not even know why we are here. Forget about what to do here. When you do not even know why you are here, then what to do here is not even there in the sight also. They will give you examples, in drawn from real life. You see him, you see that industrialist, he worked so hard, and he reached that, and he achieved out of his action. See, listen to me very carefully. When I'm talking this about karma and all those things, I'm not discounting the fact that karma doesn't give you result. Please don't understand it that way. But Bhagwan is not talking that karma is bad. You should not do anything, now sit idle. That's not what Bhagwan is saying. Bhagwan will come in the coming chapters. He will talk about karma, akarma and vikarma also in the 3rd chapter. We will come to that point at that time. But, he's not saying that don't do action. He is not putting down action in such a way. Remember here, the, talking low about only action is actually with the intent of praising action in the attitude of karma yoga. So sometimes when we talk low about something, it is not to talk or, put down something. It is mostly to praise the comparative thing so that, people can see in that light that why this is low. Of course, in comparison to karma yoga, mere karma is definitely low. It is very, very, initial part of working in the world. So Bhagwan says, Bhagwan calls them avipaschitaha. Because their understanding of life is not complete, they are themselves deluded about life. They do not have a clear understanding of life. So because they themselves don't have an understanding, they will never discover the path, and they are not going to work towards it at all. And Bhagwan is going to say in the further chapter also, when you do not do karma yoga, remember I told you karma yoga is the path, the tool, the equipment to prepare your intellect for karma yoga buddhi is actually to prepare your intellect for receiving Sankhya. Sankhya means the knowledge of the self. If your intellect is not prepared, someone may say million statements to you about the self. Someone may teach you the whole text, but nothing will strike you. Nothing will go inside. Many people say that I told you in the last session also, and in the last to last session also. When we teach, many people say it is so difficult. It's so difficult. There is nothing wrong in the subject. Every time the difficulty is actually imposed on what? The subject is not good. Talk about yourself. You are not prepared. Your intellect is not prepared. Subject is difficult means what? It's not something wrong about the subject. The subject is the correct subject, is the final truth. Of course it is subtle. Definitely. You need to think from your angle. Your intellect is not sharp enough. Your intellect is not prepared enough to receive that subject. That's why you can't understand. And at the end, when you can't understand, your interest loses. And when your interest loses, you say that what? You don't say that, I'm not up to the mark, I'm not capable. You'll always blame the subject. Oh, no, it's not, they all talk about all these things. It's useless, it's got no use at all. Work in the life, that's everything. With work only you will achieve results, and that's what Bhagwan is talking about here. Bhagwan also says, is in the coming chapters he will say, Nasti buddhi ayuktasya. That person who's not capable, who has not prepared his intellect through karma yoga, through yoga buddhi, karma yoga buddhi, through an intellect which focuses on karma yoga, nasti buddhi ayuktasya. His buddhi is not capable to receive Sankhya. And then he also says, na chayuktasya bhavana. And for such a non-capable intellect, person with such a incapable intellect, person with an intellect which is not capable of this thing, bhavana, how can he even conceive of the concept of self? How can he even conceive the understanding of the self? How can he even grasp and form an opinion and knowledge about the self? It's not possible. So Bhagavan says this, and this says, Veda Vadarataha Partha, and I told you Karma Kandi is the Purv Mimamsa, it's a portion of Veda only. And they have done, and Jaimini is the Rishi who has written Bhashya on Karma Kanda. You will see they are quoting in Veda the shloka from Veda only, but they quote only that portion which suits their logic, which suits their point which they want to bring out. Many times I told you, people do this copy paste job. I was telling you in the last session also. Please remember, if some shlokas from here also, many people quote even Bhagavad Gita shloka also, they copy paste a portion of it and they say this is what Bhagavan says. Did you read the shloka completely? Have you read that verse completely? Without the complete verse, how can you form an opinion from one portion of it? They will quote it for their convenience. And they say, Veda also said this, Bhagavan also said this way. And they will quote many such things ahead also. These portions can be quoted at the right place if you have an understanding of that entire shloka. But if you do not understand the shloka, then you will always do a copy-paste job, and not a good job of doing copy-paste also. You will copy-paste it in a very wrong fashion and irrelevantly also at many places. Bhagavan says, Veda Vadaratha Partha, they are the people who come with these kind of logics. They can come with these clear words, convincing words about, this is what is quoted in Veda, and they'll try to convince you. And how convincing they will be? They will use this word, Bhagavan says, Na anyad asti iti vadinaha. And they will prove it to you that apart from this, nothing else is there. And remember, the proving is also in the limited arena. Of course, when somebody doesn't understand the whole picture, they can prove anything to you. I'll give you one small example here. And this is pertaining to Pujya Maharaj Shri Swami Akhandanandji. And once at his ashram, which is Anand Ashram in Vrindavan, Swamiji has attained Samadhi long back. But when he was there, at that ashram, there was somebody who was doing a talk on some Purana. I think it was Shiv Purana or some Purana. They were talking on Shiv Purana. And Swamiji was sitting and listening to the whole thing. At the end of the talk, Swamiji listened to the whole thing. At the end of the talk, Swamiji asked that speaker only one thing. आपने ये पुराण पढ़ी है? So, have you read this Purana, the one which you are explaining? So, that man was a little surprised, but he didn't understand and why Swamiji is asking that question. He says, Ha Swamiji, of course I have read through and that is the reason I was giving the talk. So Swamiji never commented or anything about what was right or wrong. Swamiji said, read it once again. And Swamiji walked away. It was a very big message. When Mahatmas talk, and in these kind of forums, they don't talk just loosely and go away. They are not people like us who want to gossip about, and put down someone for the sake of putting down or anything. His word had a meaning. Because Swamiji, he's one person, he's a Shrotriya Brahmanist Guru. He knows all the scriptures in and out. So Swamiji had understood that, something was wrong. So he said, if you think that you have read it, please read it again. You will know what you said. So, in this way, the reason I brought it up is that many people with that half portion of the knowledge, they want to, shine bright because their purpose is what? Or, people would clap for them. And they should have name and fame with that. And of course, their popularity grows. Of course, those people's popularity grow also. So Bhagavan says, Arjun, Hey Partha, Veda Vadarata, they are people who will quote, portions of Veda to prove their point. And they will also, in a convincing way, tell you, Na anyad asti. Apart from action, nothing else is there. Action alone is going to make you reach there. I'll come back to this shloka come back to Shankar Bhashya of this shloka after reading the next one, because they both are related. We will read the next shloka. where I'll read actually the verse 43 and 44 together, because these three are combined explanation, and I'll use one word here which Pujya Maharaji Swami Subodhananji also very profoundly used to say. He used to say, Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the best commentary on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Bhagwan has so beautifully picked up topic by topic, and every topic he has elaborated it so well that Bhagavad Gita itself becomes one of its best commentary on itself. So we will read the verse and I'll explain you what I meant by this. He says, Kamatmana swarga para janma karma phala pradam kriya vishesha bahulam भोगैश्वर्य गतिं प्रति भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तयापहृत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते कामात्मान स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदां क्रिया विशेष बहुलां भोगैश्वर्य गतिं प्रति भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तयापहृत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते. Bhagwan is giving two more cap to such people. He is actually making them wear two more cap. Bhagwan says these people who talk this kind of decorated statement about action, how are they? Bhagwan says, Kamatmanaha. They are not Paramatmanaha. They don't have a soul which is Paramatma. They don't have a soul like that. Their soul is what? Kama becomes their soul. Kama means desire becomes their soul. Their soul is desire, because ultimately they do all these things, they propagate all these things because they are themselves like that. They are themselves action oriented. They are full of desires within them. And how are they full of desires? One after another, their desires doesn't end at all. They are themselves filled with desire, and who they talk to, they fill those people also with those kind of desires by decorating that. That's the reason Bhagwan says, Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipaschita. Bhagwan is talking about avipaschit people, those people who do not have an understanding about life, those who do not have a clear line of sight about the goal in life, those people who have not known about why they are here and what are they supposed to do here. They say they are Kamatmanaha. That's the first designation Bhagwan gives. Bhagwan, Shankaracharya in his Bhashya says Kamatmanaha. He explains Kamatmanaha as Kama Swabhavaha Karma Para iti Artha. For them, action is the ultimate. Why? Because their nature, Swabhava, is filled with desire. Their nature, their character, themselves, it is full of desires, one after another. Somebody asked them, you had so many desires, have you reached where you wanted to reach with fulfillment of desires? You will hear the answer. If they do an analysis themselves, they will realize, I have been fulfilling desires throughout my life, but I have not moved an inch from where I was. I am the same, still struggling, still toggling. Sometimes you will see these Kamatmana people, they work their entire life up to retirement. On the retirement day, they will be called to give a speech, and the first thing you mostly listen from them is that, I worked so long, I can't accept that I'm retiring. I don't know what I'm going to do from tomorrow. I don't know how my life will be from tomorrow. Puja Maharaj Ji, Swami Subodhananji used to give an example. There was an officer, a very senior officer, senior IAS officer, and he knew that he's going to retire in 2 years, and he was preparing his mind for retirement. So when he got retired, the last people to say goodbye to you are the people who were your assistant, driver, and all those people who, drop you till home, be with you for some time. Your personal assistant and all those people, they are the last ones to bid goodbye to you. When you're an IS officer, you have so many people around you. So he's so used to that respect that so many people surrounding, so many people saluting, so many people doing this, so many people doing that, and all that. Even though he was preparing for 2 years for the retirement, the day he retired, right, and slowly, gradually, in the next day of retirement, the driver said, sir, this is my final goodbye to you. I wish you all the best in life. Now I won't be able to see you in this role. I hope our paths cross each other, and all those things he said and went. It's the same with personal assistant. So he was left with only the servant at home. Now this person, even though he has been preparing for 2 years for the retirement, he got so bogged down by the whole thing, he didn't know what to do. No people around. Suddenly all that surrounding is vanished. And now those people who used to respect him, they are not going to see him with the same eye, because now he is no longer in the position. Remember, these things we have to embed in our mind very well. Respect is for the position. How long is the position for you? How long the position will remain with you? It won't be with you till death. Some people may end up, losing life while in the position. I'm not talking about them. But most of the cases, we want that, all of us should have, long life. If I take that assumption correctly, how long will the position be there? There will be some time where you have to retire. And when you retire, all these things will go, because the respect will also go slowly, gradually. People may respect you out of their own will after that. But that position, when it is not there, their respect won't be the same as it used to be there when you were in position. So he said, it started at boggling his mind so much. He started getting depressed. He called up one of his students and he said, listen to me very carefully. Book a ticket for me for anywhere. Destination I am not going to tell you. I am immediately packing my bags and I am leaving this place forever. And he left that place, because the same place where he used to get so much respect, he can't digest the fact that he is no longer going to get it. This is what happens with Kamatmana. Position will remain how long for you? It won't remain throughout your life. And Bhagwan and Shankaracharya says, they are what? They are full of desires themselves. Their nature is full of desires. Kama para, they consider calm as the ultimate. They consider action as the ultimate. They consider desire fulfillment as the ultimate goal. That's all. Iti artha, that's what Kamatmaya means here. When Bhagwan goes to the next cap, what will they propagate? How will they promote, action-oriented behavior? They say, Swarga Paraha. That's the next level Bhagwan is talking about. Bhagwan says, these people are what? They will say, listen, with action only, you can reach the ultimate goal of what? Swarga. Swarga means heaven. Swarga Parayan. And you are going to reach heaven. Because their ultimate vision of ultimate achievement, or the highest achievement for such people, is what? Heaven. Now I touched one point in the last session, and I want to bring it up with this particular verse here. When we say Swarga Parayan, you look at around other religions, which I call Sampradaya. I don't call them Dharma, I call them Sampradaya, community. Other communities you look at. And I'm marking my word here. In Islam, the highest achievement is what? Jannat. In Christianity, the highest achievement is what? Heaven. They don't have any achievement beyond that. Why? Because they don't have a vision beyond that. Now I'm giving you, other examples also. I'm not talking about them also, alone only. Even the Purva Mimamsak, which I spoke about now, which are part of Vedas, the Purva Mimamsak also, their highest level of achievement is what? Heaven. They cannot think beyond that. They do not have an understanding beyond that. Amongst these people, there are some people also who do not have faith in afterlife. Right? But they are action oriented people. They don't have faith in afterlife. They will call what? They will call heaven here only. You must have heard this statement outside. I have heard it many places. People have asked me this question also many times that Anishji, tell me, I have heard that heaven and hell is here. So when I ask them, what is the proof of that of your statement? What you are saying that heaven and hell is here only? And some people ask me this question, and otherwise from this podcast also, it is heard that heaven and hell is here only. There is no different heaven and hell outside of this. Arey, that's your limited thinking. That's your limited understanding. Because you do not have, we have to check ourselves. We do not have faith in afterlife. Why? Because they feel what? This life is life. After this also there was no life. Before this also there was no life. So their effort will be what? Their effort will always be focused upon making this life heavenly. And what is the definition of their heaven there? Life should be full of happiness. And how will they derive happiness? Now remember this thing, for Swargapara also, or these people also who do not have faith in afterlife, who do not accept afterlife as a thing, and they push it off saying that what? It's a concept which we do not know. Okay, I'm not coming to their elaboration, but I'm just talking about this. What is the definition of sukha? What is the definition of making heaven here or heaven afterwards? The definition of heaven is very clear. Some people find happiness. If I have a big house, I'll be happy. Maybe 4 BHK, 5 BHK, I have a palatial house. Some people look for happiness in house. Some people look for happiness in, I should have a fleet of cars. I will be happy if I have Rolls Royce in my garage. I will be happy if I have BMW in my garage. And how many cars you will drive once? No, I need to have 6, 7 of them in my garage. Why? Because their definition of happiness is the more cars I have, the more, or luxury I have. Their comfort and luxury defines their happiness. Some people will define happiness is that, I should be respected in the society. I should have a lot of respect in the society. Some people will say that people should love me. That's the way of my happiness. If nobody loves me, what life is there? They become depressed and they want to, commit suicide. Some people, they can't even take loneliness also. I would say there is a difference between loneliness and being alone. So you need to understand that difference. Being lonely is completely different from being alone. When you, remain alone, when you start finding happiness within yourself, you want to remain alone because you want to revel in that self. Mahatmas also remain alone, but that doesn't mean they are lonely. Loneliness is a factor of mind. When when this thing gets into my mind, nobody loves me. Nobody is with me. Nobody wants me. Nobody likes me. All these statements come out of loneliness. They are different one. So, another demand of people is that, I should be loved. I should be respected. People should have trust in me. This is another one of, deriving happiness. So some people derive happiness with home. Some people derive with relation. Some people derive with, vehicles and, gadgets. I heard this now, iPhone 15 got launched. And then, in Delhi, there was some people who went into the shop and beat up the salesman, poor salesman, for no rhyme and reason that, he could not make available the iPhone 15. What kind of a madness is this? Have we gone insane? Just an object. So what if you get 2 days later? You will beat up someone. What kind of an attitude we have all got into? What kind of a desire fulfillment it is? If it doesn't get fulfilled, you will kill anyone. You will beat anyone down. Where have we reached? Just see. This is what Bhagavan is saying. Mere karma is not going to help you without a karma yoga attitude. So what if a model after release comes to you after 1 month, the model remains the same, no? And what? Next year a new model will come. How long you will keep yourself updated? The more you try to, it's like a highway. I've given you that example before. How much amount of how much amount of fast drive you do, doesn't matter. Somebody will be ahead of you. Are you the only one to acquire these things? Where have we reached this thing? This is the way people will define when they come into karma. If your atma is kamatmana, then these activities, these kind of incidents don't surprise us. Of course, you do not have a soul. It's all full of desire. My desire should be fulfilled. How? I don't care if it's the cost of somebody's life. I don't care if it is at the cost of somebody else. Your desire fulfillment focuses so much that you even living things respect you lose. And you start to overlook that also. You see around the world when you see incidents like what is happening these days, of all the political arena and the international forum. What is going on? You become so self-centered that you do not see others' objective at all. Even if other person is right, you don't want to see it. Just because you are in that arena, I'm sorry, the world has changed. You cannot think that, just because you have been in a powerful, country or person or whatever, you will be able to drive and override others' agenda. I'm sorry, that doesn't work these days. World is changing. You must know how to give respect to others. Only your sovereignty is important. Other sovereignty is, just go to hell. What kind of a behavior we are getting into? We have become so focused on desire that we stop seeing others' objective only. We are so self-centered. For my thing, I will kill anyone. I will, destroy anyone. Doesn't matter, but my desire should be fulfilled. What kind of a desire fulfillment is that? Bhagavan says, Arjun, it is like Swargapara. They are like those people for whom heaven and hell matters. And their ultimate goal is what? Heaven and hell. They have no thinking about moksha at all. They don't even know about moksha. They don't want to talk about it also. And they do not have intellect to even understand that. Their concept of moksha is also not there. So, Bhagavan says, Arjun, kamatmanaha swargapara. I will bring one example which Pujya Gurudev brought up, in his talks in Bhagavad Gita. Very, very beautiful example. He brings up that they will decorate this heaven in such a way. Of course, heaven and is spoken about, or the beauty, the luxury of heaven is spoken about. Heaven is so beautiful. This is how heaven looks. When you go there, it's complete luxury. You will never age beyond a particular point in time. You will never grow old there. And it is so beautiful, you just clap there. And two apsaras, two of them will come. Two apsaras will appear and ask you, what do you want? Why two comes? If one comes, probably one may misunderstand. So other will at least get the understanding correctly. So two of them will come. And you just order whatever you want. I'm just giving you the way Puja Gurudev used to elaborate it so beautifully. He used to say, I want a Coke. And then the person is about to leave and say, no, wait. I need a chilled one. Chilled one appears there in front of you in a fraction of a second. It is given to you. And such a beautiful place that nobody falls sick. You remain in a same form as long as you live there. And Gurudev used to say, because of this, in heaven there are no hospitals and there are no maternity wards. He used to say, no hospitals. So he used to also joke in that way, no doctors are required in heaven ever. No maternity ward. Why? Because nobody gets birth there. Because if somebody is born there, by birth they will become a citizen. And if citizenship cannot be given for that place, you have to come back once your karma or punya is over. So if you get citizenship, you will start standing up and raising slogans of giving your right and all those things. So that problem is not there. So there are no maternity ward. Nobody becomes pregnant. Nobody gives childbirth. Those things are not there, no problems at all. Every time, and it's full of luxury. You order something, it will come there in a fraction of a second. You name a luxury, it is there in heaven. This is how the description of heaven is there in our scriptures also. And this is how other communities and other religions also describe to somewhat extent. And I was hearing one debate on the television also when they're talking about, you reach Jannat, some Hoor will come. Hoor is nothing but the same translation of Apsara only. They will come and, they will take care of you. Nobody gets old, nobody gets as ill, nobody falls sick. Doctors are only not required. You do not have any problem of insurance, life insurance, anything. You do not have to worry about earning also, because that punya you already earned, you are only spending there. So you are what, I will use one word which I used to use when I was working. There is a difference between a cost center and a profit center. You are only, spending there. You are only a cost center. You do not have to worry about profit at all. That you have already earned and reached there. So this is how elaborately heaven was described. And what? Of course, heavenly things are there. When those people who do not have faith in heaven, they try to make heaven out of here only. And for them, more comfort and luxury means much more heavenly life. Bhagwan now gives another term here, Arjun. Kamatmana, their self is like, they do not have a soul, their desires is their soul. And they are what? Swargaparaha. Their ultimate goal is heaven only, the maximum they can reach. For them, the most beautiful place you can reach through your action, the highest achievement of yours in life is heaven. That's the maximum they can think of. That's the highest for them. They have no discussion about moksha at all. Bhagavan says, Arjun, these people, how is this kamatmana, swargapara in their action? It has only got one result. Janma karma falapradam. Bhagavan mocks it, saying that all their actions, all this is what they do in their life. It's only going to lead them into one thing. What? Janma. It is only going to lead them into further births. Why? Because you have done the action. If you have done the action, you only have to bear the result. If for bearing the result, you have to be born. So the only thing all this leads that person to is only next birth. And when birth comes, karma, then action will also unfold. You will have to get into actions also. You will have to get into many actions there. So the only fruit this kind of an attitude or only action gives is, it will give you further birth. In one simple plain language, Bhagavan says that. Janma karma falapradam. Janma for why? Karma falapradam. For giving the fruit of action, it will lead you into births. You have to be born again and again. You will do one action or bearing the fruits of those actions, you will be born again. You will end up bearing the fruits of the past action also there, and you will create new action also there. Then for bearing the fruit of those actions, you will be born again. How long this cycle of birth and death go? Infinite. There is no end to this cycle of birth and death. So that's why this creation becomes infinite after that. So there is no end. Kalpa comes, goes, Yuga comes and goes. So the time moves on. And these people, they are doing so much action that they have to be born again only for bearing the fruit of action. Remember one thing, the action which starts from you ends with you alone by you bearing the fruit or result of that action. It completes with you. That's the cycle of karma. And I was talking about this somewhere else also. Even science accepts this fact that every action has got an equal and opposite reaction. So every action has got a reaction. For that reaction means fruit here, where every action is definitely going to lead you into result, and for that result you'll have to come here. And how will that action be? Is it that single action? Bhagwan uses the word Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. Arjun, it will be a list. Bahulam means many. And how will that action be? It will not be one single action. It will be a list of many actions. And Vishesha here means of particular actions, not normal common actions. There will be a list of particular action. If you have to reach this result, you have to do this task in this way. And I spoke about that in the previous shlokas also, when Bhagavan used the word, heard here, abhikramanashaha, pratyavayah, and and we spoke about the quantum of effort also. He says it will lead them into many particular, bahulam vishesha kriya. Bahula means many particular actions they will have to do to reach this result. And what is their gati? Gati means what is their final achievement? Where do they reach at the end of all this way of action? They will lead only into two things, which I was speaking about before. It will lead you into only two things. Now you have to think through this. What are the two things he's speaking about? Bhoga and Aishwarya. Now I'll decipher this word. I may take up more details in the next session, but I'll decipher this word for you right now. Bhoga means comfort. Comfort, and the next level of that is luxury. You can take both way. Comfort and luxury. Aishwarya means power. Now there are two kind of people in this world, who are action oriented. Some people do action for bhoga, for increasing comfort and luxury in their life. Their focus is only on that. Okay. Now some people focus is only on comfort and luxury, and their purpose of working is only to have more and more comfortable life, more and more luxurious life. Now I want to ask a question. What is the limit of comfort or luxury for you? Think over it. When you think you will know, you can never define the limit. Because irrespective of whatever you achieve, you will always feel that you are not fulfilled or contented yet. And I just give you that example. You got the best latest phone. Okay, you probably got iPhone 15, I will use the word, or iPhone 15 Pro Max, I will use the word. Okay, why should I talk of anything different? Let me take the highest of amongst the grid. iPhone 15 Pro Max. How long it will fulfill you? For 1 year, till the time the next model comes. And when the next model comes, you want to shift over to that. How long have you been in getting the models? Have it ever fulfilled you? I'm not putting down those things. They are good. They are improvement on the past models, no doubt. Apple is doing a good job in terms of developing the product, in terms of making their product come up the cycle, or also carving out niche from the previous versions. They are doing a good job. They are upgrading the versions well, I'm no doubt about it. But the point I'm trying to bring it is that how long these things, bhoga and aishwarya, will satisfy you. You may have got 7 cars in the in your garage, and models change every year. How long it will keep you fulfilled and contented? There are some people who are not so much comfort or luxury oriented. Okay, this is a different category of people. For them, we use one word, they are power crazy or power hungry. You can find many such people around you. Huh? They don't have much definition of luxury, they don't have much definition of comfort and all those things, but they have definitely focus on power. I should be respected. People should trust me blindly, People should love me for what I am. For their desire becomes what? Aishwarya. Bhagavan says, Arjun, all these action-oriented people, their final destination in this life becomes bhoga. In this life or next life becomes bhoga and aishwarya. And the fruit of that action, or the goal of that action, or the ultimate achievement of that action is what? It is going to lead you into birth after birth. It will keep you engaged in such a way that there will be no dearth of creation for such a person, whether that person is born further in any yuga, so to say, but the creation will also continue. So is going to be the life of this person. Now when I use this word, I want to decipher one more topic there. There are people also who don't so much talk about Swarga. They do talk about Swarga also, I'm not saying they don't, but they have still a vision of Vaikuntha and Brahmaloka and other Loka also. They may call Goloka, they may call Kailas or Shivaloka or Devi Loka or whichever Loka they may say. But remember, what is the difference between in these people and the actual moksha? When you say Swarga, just think through it at this point, and I'll elaborate in the next session. Swarga means what? It's a situation, right? Swarga is a paristhiti only, no? You reached a thing, and around you, it's such a situation that around you everything is fulfilled, everything is luxurious, every comfort is given to you, everything is there the way you desire it. It's just a situation. In the same way, whether you call it heaven or whatever way, those people who are reaching bhoga and aishwarya also, those people are working hard to create a situation only, no? When you get into a power, it is a situation. Now remember, situation has started, so situation has to end also. No situation can be permanent. That goes for Swarga also. Huh? Even if somebody goes to Swarga or heaven, it is a situation. The moment your punya is over, you will fall back into the world. It's not that, it's a permanent residency there. You are only on a visitor visa there. Yes, when you are there, you can enjoy all the luxury. Why I use that at simile what Puja Gurudev used to give, Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananji used to give. There are no maternity wards, there are no hospitals there. Nobody is born because nobody gets permanent citizenship there. If you are born, you get permanent citizenship. You can't be born there. You get a body, a different body to go there. You, till the time you have the earning of your punya, you remain there. The moment all that money is spent, all that earning of punya is spent, you fall back into this world, into whichever loka is designated for you according to your karma, you will fall into that, and this Prithvi loka only. Of course, the creation of many, I am not going to come into and elaborate on that point. So Bhagavan says, Arjun, it is a situation only. Now, there are other sects of people who talk about moksha, but their definition of moksha is what? You will get Golok, you will get Swarglok. Remember, Golok and Swarglok is also a paristhiti. Of course, God is there. You may have longer period of enjoyment that, God, with God around you, who Ishvara in his form around there. You will have a longer period of enjoyment, you will have a longer period of luxury there. Luxury in the sense, hence happiness there. And happiness definition and quantum will be different. Definitely yes. But yes, it's a paristhiti. It will also end because it is said in the scriptures that all these lokas also, and at the end when the Srishti goes into Pralay, these lokas also go. So it is going to end one day. Now, what is actual moksha according to Vedanta? I am going to highlight that portion to compare here. The definition of moksha according to Vedanta is paristhiti shunya. Paristhiti shunya means it is not a situation. It has got no situation. It's not a kind of situation that it is going to end sometime. It is situationless. It is free of situation. It's paristhiti shunya. But what? Anand means that it's not exactly enjoyment, it's a bliss. I will use the word. Enjoyment, I'll use it for sukha. The Anand, the bliss there is permanent and infinite. Lavalab Anand hai. Lavalab means it's topped up with bliss. Bliss always, no situation around. That kind of an achievement is also there. Many can't comprehend. Many schools of philosophies can't comprehend that. The maximum many had gone is moksha. Many to have not even gone till moksha. Many have reached only till swarga. And there are some of them who have not even accept swarga also. Listen to me very carefully. Huh? Whether you accept or not, your acceptance doesn't change the reality. Please remember that. Huh? Your acceptance, that is up to you. Your acceptance is your problem. I'll use this word. Many people, some people when they come to us also and they say that, they have misunderstood you, they have misunderstood you. We use one word very clearly. Their misunderstanding is their problem. It is not my problem. Why? Because they are carrying that misunderstanding, and if it's troubling them, they should come and resolve it. Why should I make an effort and get into that thing? It's their misunderstanding, it's their problem, not my problem. So, we live free in that way that, whether what people understand or not understand is their issue. If people come and clarify, we will clarify it for them. If they don't come and can clarify, let them be happy with that misunderstanding. It's got nothing for us at all. So they say here that, this is how the whole structure of understanding of people go. Now I want to use one word before I, complete the session today. The thing is, I spoke about punya, which takes us to swarga. Remember, and I spoke about in the Srimad Bhagavad the lecture which I gave, the talk on Srimad Bhagavad which I gave in Delhi also. Oh, people understand the power of money, but people don't understand the power of punya. They don't understand the power of punya. Power of money everyone understands, and I gave the example what they think that money can buy anything in this world. Money can buy anything for them. But I'm sorry, let me just correct them. Sorry, money cannot buy everything. There are many things which money can't buy. For that, the thing is, punya becomes important. And punya, and I'll elaborate a little bit in the next session, punya comes to you how? When you contribute from what you earn for the purpose of dharma, for the purpose of knowledge, for the purpose of helping someone who is in need. When you give for the purpose of dharma also, whether it is spreading the knowledge of dharma, whether it is donating to a temple so that many can come and have solace there, or whether it is contributing to religious functions and all those things also, all of them fall under the category of dharma. That's all comes to punya. The second way of punya is when we help the needy. That also gives us punya. So that earning of punya only leads us to higher and higher lokas. Another thing which punya does for us is that it also cleans our intellect. It also clears or cleans the impurities in our intellect and prepares us for receiving the higher and subtle knowledge. Rest we will see in the next session. Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanaeti samarpayami Shriman Narayanaeti samarpayami. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Om Tat Sat.